Well, good morning again, everybody. Here we are at the MDL Ocean Village, preceding the start of the Ocean Globe Race in about 2 days. Hard to believe. And you know what? Welcome, Aida. How are you?
Very, very, very fine, dog.
And Tan, good to see you. And Berton, fantastic, from Neptune. And before we go there, I forgot to mention on the last one, it's the 8th of September. It's a very significant day.
Yes. Oh, yes, indeed. I think, if I'm not wrong, today, exactly 50 years ago, the first whitbread set sails from England in 8th of September 1973. Yeah. We are 50 years later here, back in England, thanks to the McIntyre. Thank you, Dan. But the French are here.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just a coincidence that we have a French crew on this anniversary day. Welcome, Dan, and welcome, Bertrand. Very happy to be with you here this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is. In fact, Aida's just written a release on that. It will go out shortly. We've got 90-something French entrants in the OGR, or sailors.
Yeah, what I knew this morning, it was we have 96. George just told me now it's 85, so we have to check that. But it's almost half of the fleet is French, with 5 French entries. In the first whitbread, I think it was 19 boats and 6 French boats. Today we are 14 boats and 5 French boats. So
it's crazy.
We have to keep an eye on the French people, I'm seeing. So.
Absolutely. So, and we're really happy to see Neptune. You know, just to set the scene, when we announced the race, I think you contacted us very quickly and said you'd really love to enter, but there were many things to put in place. And then finally, we had an entry from Neptune. It was an exciting day for a few reasons, you know. Tell us a bit about
his boat.
Okay.
About his boat. Because this boat, before, they have a beautiful project. Bertrand will speak about that and Tan a bit later. But what I discovered is that boat has a beautiful story. First of all, it's a beautiful boat called Neptune, like the god of the seas. But this boat was built by two crew on Penduic 6 who crewed with Eric Tabarly, and they put their own boat in 73. So it's in 77, I think.
Yeah, but they were sailing with Tabarly on the 73. The first.
Yeah. So they sailed the first whitbread. Then in 77, they built this boat with journalists from Neptune, which is what was at the time one of the most famous French magazines. Yes. So it's a beautiful story. How did you get this boat?
Because I am a very good friend of Daniel Gilles, and Daniel Gilles, who was a crew member of Eric Tabarly, and he was also the redacteur-en-chef of Neptune magazine. He's now 80 years old. He's a very good friend of me, and when I discussed with him about doing the ocean race, I was looking after a boat. He said, "Oh, I'm going to ask Bernard if Neptune is available. She's in Caribbean, but she could be available. So, and Bernard knows the owner, so we can connect you." And that's the beginning of the story. Then we went in Guadeloupe during COVID. It was in September, where I was with Stéphane, my first mate, and we had a very nice little day on Neptune. And we had the same feeling with Neptune. The boat was really heavy, in very bad state. But when we were downwind, she was sleeping. So we said, we will try to have the boat because it's a nice boat, and it's a Mauric design. So for me, Mauric, I knew Mauric, and I didn't meet him, but I very good friend, connect very close to him. So Mauric for me, Mauric design for me was a real value.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Bernard only recently passed away?
No, Bernard is still alive.
Oh.
He's 83 years old. He's living in Saint-Jacques and Paris, but mostly in Saint-Jacques. And he went on the boat, I would say, 3 weeks ago with the old crew members, Daniel, Bernard, there was Jean-Jean and other guys, as a navigator, and we had a great day together. They were so happy to be on the boat again, and to sail the boat as she is now.
That's right, I'm getting confused because there was another whitbread sailor that was with Tabarly, And then he was still working with Valceanu magazine. Anyway, I must be. I thought,
Yes, it's Bernard Rubinstein. You're talking about Bernard Rubinstein. He was one of the crew members, and he was writing for Neptune Notice too. He was a very famous writer, and he passed away 2 years ago.
That's right, yeah, because he was a great supporter of the GGR as well. Yeah, and that's when I first met him with his writings, and we often discussed about his Whitbread experience, and I thought there was a connection. So okay.
He did the 73 Whitbread on Pendwick, and he did the full race on Neptune in 77.
Yeah. This is one of the beauties of the OGR. It's reliving the history again, and it's a reason for those sailors to bring their story back and make them alive, which is really fascinating. And you're deeply involved with that because of the boat, and you've done a beautiful.
And because of my age too.
Oh,
yeah, of course. I'm born in '57.
You're a boy.
So when I was for the first Whitbread, I was 16 years old, and I was really dreaming seeing this boat going away. Thank you for that.
That's why you took so many young crew on board, because you have a lot of young people. Today, your youngest crew on board is with us. I'm joking. Bertrand is with us for a special occasion because you are a big part of the project. And after we'll come back to the question for the young crew. I think this crazy guy. We need to say to the people who are not from France that the Brittany in France, we call that the craziest with the Corsica part of our country. They are not ordinary people, never. And
we are not French.
Yes. So this crazy guy, Tan, had the idea to refit the boat, put a crew on the boat, get the boat ready, and even more than that, show to other people all over the world who are suffering of Parkinson's disease that it is possible, even when you are sick, even if you have a big disease who is not cured today, it's possible to fulfill a dream. And so that's how you arrive in the project, Bertrand. Tell us a little bit about when and how you met Tam and what he told to you, what you told to him.
At first, je vais pas m'exprimer en anglais parce que je parle très très mal anglais, donc
His English is not super good, so I'll translate quickly.
Je comprends, mais bon bref. Donc comment je suis arrivé dans ce projet? Déjà, j'ai un parcours de santé assez chargé et en mai 2021, on m'a donc déclaré, on m'a décelé Parkinson.
So in May 21, 2 years ago, he discovered he was suffering of Parkinson disease.
Et donc j'ai vécu cela un peu comme un uppercut. J'ai eu quelques semaines où j'étais un petit peu bas au niveau moral.
It was, of course, a tsunami in his life. For the first 2 weeks, he was completely down when he heard about that.
Et après, je me suis tourné vers Andy Voile Brest, qui est un club pour la pratique de la voile valide et moins valide.
And after that, I went to see a sailing club in Brest. A club for people who have disabilities and also people who don't have.
Et dans ce club, la première sortie, j'ai donc été encadrant mais en doublure. Et à partir de la seconde sortie, ils m'ont dit vas-y, prends le bateau, tu es responsable.
So the first time he was with other people, double-handed, and at the second sailing, the people told him, "You are in charge of the boat, you can do that."
Donc cela m'a vraiment réconforté et amené à pousser plus loin le challenge avec la maladie.
And at that stage, this story became a challenge for him, a challenge with the disease.
Et à partir de là, j'ai donc contacté Don, qui m'a donné les adresses des challenges français pour l'OGR.
So he contacted Don, who gave to him the email address of the French entrance in the OGR.
J'ai donc contacté Tan, qui malheureusement qui heureusement était en mer. Je ne savais pas à l'époque qu'il convoyait Neptune.
So when he contacted Tan, Tan was bringing back Neptune.
Et je ne remercierai jamais assez Christiane, je ne sais pas si elle est là, Mais elle a su transmettre le message et n'a pas considéré que c'était peut-être une farce.
And why can you accept it? So when he contacted you, why did you say yes? It was a bit. It was not an ordinary demand.
No, it was not an ordinary demand, but in my own story, I've always been balanced between my medical practice and selling.
Oh, I forgot to mention you are a doctor.
Yes, I'm surgeon. So when I was teen, I wanted to be a salesman. I had a little myopia, so it could be a bit difficult at this time to enter in the American Navy. Anyway, so I decided to be medical and very long studies. But I've been always selling since I was very young, and I was always balanced between being a seller or a medical doctor. So, and I had Parkinson's disease in my own family. So when he sent me the email, I was by my own thinking about doing something medical. I tried to find an ophthalmologist, an ophthalmology course. I didn't find anywhere really exciting, and I suffered, and Christian, my wife, because of the father of the Parkinson. It was horrible. I asked Bertrand, can I meet you? And send me all your medical life, and I will think about it, and I will meet you. And at the arrival in February in Le Bono, I met Bertrand in the 2 or 3 days after my arrival. I had all the medical file. We had a contact with the university, and we decided to do the project with him and to include him. So first we were thinking that the crew was going to support Bertrand, but he had a lot of training, big volunteer, and then the project was really quite difficult. It was difficult because of the technical points, but because also of the money, to find the money. But he supports really us a lot, and I think today his volunteer for us and for the project is one of the main things. Thank you, Bertrand.
Then my question before I forgot it. Can you tell us a word about your crew on board? Because you have a lot of young people on board. I don't know who they are, but you look like a very solid team with a very good atmosphere, vibes on board. Can you tell us a little bit more about your crew? How many crew you'll have on board for all the legs?
So we are about, I think, 17, and fixed people are 4, and will be a fifth one from the second leg to the end. So we can consider that we are about 5 on board, stables, and then we have 5 people each leg different.
Yeah, so you sail with 10 people on board.
Yes, we sail with 10 people. Then the base of the crew is a crew who sail all together since about 5 years on different boats, mostly inshore sailing, but with a very good level. We have, and the other point is this guy, they are not professional paid sailors, but they are working in yacht management and yacht repairs. We have Erwan is a boat designer. He belongs to the Fino architect design company. He's used to do IMOCA. So the team was really, we had a really good base team to sail and to do the project.
Yeah, it's very tough to get into the OGR, and as you know, there's a huge amount of compliance. Okay, and we're supportive of everything you're doing, but we applied exactly the same rules and conditions on Neptune as we had done for all the others. As you probably know, we're supportive of various causes. Citran, which is our teddy bear, is all about MND and motor neurone disease and Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and so on. And I just wanted to say that you've done an incredible job to meet the standards required by OGR to get into the race. And I just want to also say that even Bertrand has met all the medical requirements now to qualify under exactly the same conditions as everyone else. So congratulations on that. That's the first thing. You've got your green card now, I think, already.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What to you and the whole campaign was the hardest part? Because I know it's been tough for everyone, but you certainly how would you see the toughest part to get to where you are now?
Well, I think that the most difficult part for me was to find the money, because we had to convince people that we were really serious in the refit and bringing somebody who had a bad disease with us. But that was my job, and as I was a surgeon, not MD but a surgeon, for the medical part, I was not so stressed because I knew that we did the things really seriously, and I was very confident and interested with Bertrand, who was really working hard. The other thing was the boat refits, because this boat was not in so good shape. She has been abandoned or very small sailing for many years, so she didn't race since the 80s. We knew and we were convinced that it was a good boat, but honestly, to do a program like that, we wanted really to be safe and that the boat would be really perfect. So it was very expensive and it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, you do look impeccably prepared. I mean, she looks great. You've done it, from what I'm seeing. Yeah, it's really cool. You mentioned you're happy with the sailing of the boat even before you got there. How do you feel about it now that the refit's complete? And did you do absolutely everything you could have hoped to do, or is there something on the wish list for the refit that you weren't able to do because of time or money or something like that?
Honestly, because of Erwan, who is a very good designer, we had Mauric design and drawing with us, so it has been very helping. And Erwan did his job perfectly. He was completely free. It took him a long time because it was really difficult, but I think that the boat is really up to date and at its best level today. Then there was Nicolas, another guy called Christophe, who were working full-time on the boat. Nicolas is going with us now. He will do the fourth leg. Thanks to Nicolas, because he was working about 10 hours by day, even weekend sometime. So this guy who did an incredible job. And we have a new mast, new rig, new deck gears, but we respect the original design of Mauric. Same sail area, same height of mast, but it is in the rule, but we did it really very seriously. And but we gained 2 tons on the boat we brought back from Guadeloupe, so it's not exactly the same boat today. And the guys, Bernard de Guy and Daniel, says that the boat is really perfect in its line. In its line.
Bertrand, you, as a sailor, now we're talking sailor, you are now crewing in the Ocean Globe Race. What's the highlight for you as a sailor to be, reliving the original Whitbread race?
Il va te poser une question plutôt au navigateur,
Oui.
plutôt une question de navigation. Quel est le sentiment pour toi comme navigateur, comme marin, d'être dans une course qui fait revivre la première Whitbread?
Déjà, moi, personnellement, j'avais en rêve, en 1984, j'avais déjà démarché Eric Tabarly.
It was his dream since a long time already, because in 1984 he has already asked to Eric Tabarly to take him crew on board.
Why did he say no?
Est-ce que tu sais pourquoi Tabarly a dit non?
Non. Par contre, Tan m'a dit oui, donc c'est l'essentiel. Comme...
But Tan told him yes.
Okay.
50 years later, so this is the most important
What
part.
about the sailing background? You know, before Parkinson's, the sailing.
Avant Parkinson, c'était quoi? C'est quoi ton histoire avec la navigation? Quand est-ce que tu as commencé à naviguer?
J'ai commencé assez jeune, j'étais à la mer Vrac à partir de 6 ans. Bon, j'ai commencé avec les copains à naviguer comme ça.
Optimiste?
Pas tellement optimiste, j'ai pas tellement été école de voile.
He's living, tu vis en Bretagne?
Bah oui,
He's
effectivement.
living
La mer Vrac, Finistère Nord,
La
le seul des
mer Vrac, je
vrais.
suis roumaine, les amis, je suis roumaine, vu depuis la Roumanie, je sais pas où c'est. So sorry, I start my problem with the Bretons. I told you they are not very easygoing people, so I didn't know where was Brevac, and I asked in French if it's in Brittany. Then they got all crazy. Of course it's in Brittany, but seeing from Romania, I couldn't see so far.
It's at the end of the end.
At the end of Europe and France, this is true. What was the question? So the sailing experience. He starts sailing at 6. I asked him if he's starting like an optimist, like the small boats, and he said no. It was more with friends, like sailing, like a little bit like you, as you started.
Et après, bon, j'ai passé un monitorat de voile dans le Finistère Sud. Ouais, j'ai déserté le Nord un petit peu. Et ensuite, j'ai fait j'étais chef de bord croisière et j'ai fait quelques courses. J'ai fait le mini Fastnet 2 fois.
Le Fastnet, tu l'as fait 2 fois.
Ouais.
Est-ce que
Mini Fastnet.
monitorat de voile, ça veut dire que tu donnais des cours de voile?
Oui.
Yes, and after. Yeah, and after that he started to teach sailing to other people. He did some sailing, some cruising, some races also. The mini Fastnet race twice.
Yeah. What about his other life? What was his career and family and stuff? He wants to talk about the family one.
Et
Career, what did he do?
si ce n'est pas trop personnel comme question, et de l'autre côté, en plus de la voile, c'était quoi ton métier, ta famille, tu viens d'où?
Mon métier initial, c'était permanent dans les clubs de voile. Et après, j'ai mon épouse qui m'a dit à un moment, tu vas pas rester t'amuser à faire de la voile pendant que moi je travaille.
So he made for the sailing a job. So he was working like a contractor, permanent contractor in sailings club, until the day his wife said to him, listen, you'll not keep going playing with boats when I'm working hard at home. So then what happened? What did you do? Qu'est-ce que tu as fait après?
Ben, je me suis installé à mon compte comme réparateur de bateaux, moteur marin.
And then he came home to support his family, and he started to work as a technical part on his own for repairing boats.
Yeah. And he has children. And what do they think
Oui,
about what's happening?
oui j'ai 3 filles et j'ai 6 petits-enfants et un 7e en route.
He has 3 daughters, 6 what's the name of the baby? Grandchildren, and a 7th one on the way. He will he be back? Will he be born before you arrive back in France? The 7th one.
En décembre.
So, who will be born in December, just before.
Ouais.
Okay. And so, what do they think of him doing this crazy thing now?
Et qu'est-ce qu'elle pense, ta famille, tes filles, ta femme, de ce que tu fais aujourd'hui, de cette chose folle que tu fais aujourd'hui?
Ma famille, déjà, j'avais un projet de faire quelque chose en solitaire, en voile.
Avant la maladie?
Non, après la maladie. Et ma famille ne me suivait pas.
After the disease, when he started to sail again and everything, he had the idea to do something solo, to solo go somewhere, and at that, on this one, the family was not behind at all.
Et donc maintenant, là, il n'y a aucun problème, toute ma famille est derrière moi.
So now is no more problems, or his family supports him.
Et mon papa, notamment, qui a 93 ans, je pensais, ma maman est décédée il y a 1 an et je pensais qu'il allait la suivre très rapidement, mais depuis qu'il y a ce projet, il renaît presque.
And his biggest supporter is his father, 93 years old. His mother died, and he was thinking his father was going to die because he was very tired. And since he's doing the project, his father is onto it like crazy.
He might be watching.
Je ne sais pas s'il nous regarde. If you are watching, si vous nous regardez, bonjour monsieur, comment il s'appelle?
Christian.
Bonjour Christian de Southampton en Angleterre.
So, is some of the family coming to the start?
Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un qui vient de ta famille?
Oui, il y a toute la troupe qui arrive ce soir. Donc il y aura 16 vareuses roses dans le village.
All his family is arriving tonight and it will be 16 pinky colors arriving in the village tonight.
Avec évidemment Neptune, mais surtout notre devise qui est quand même quelque chose d'assez fort, c'est qui ose vivra.
His family will be with Neptune, but also on their clothing with the devise, the motto, wait, I need to translate that if we can. If I have a good, it's not easy to translate. If you have a good speaking, someone is speaking, they will wear on their clothes.
Who dare win?
Who dare win?
Yeah. That's the motto, the phrase.
Of the also of the boat. Yeah.
Question. Neptune has blue shirts, but also orange shirts.
Yeah.
Is that a hierarchy for the French and versus your non-French part, or what?
Ça, c'est parce que ce soir il y a un match France-Nouvelle-Zélande, donc on s'est mis en couleur bleue, parce qu'on soutient les Bleus. Et on espère, puisque l'on soutient nos Bleus, que les Bleus vont nous soutenir aussi.
So he put the blue color today because tonight is a very big important rugby match, France against New Zealand, and blue is the color of the French. So he supports them, and they hope the French rugby will support them too.
Because we all have to go to Auckland, we all have to go to New Zealand for the stopover.
Don me dit de faire gaffe parce qu'on doit s'arrêter à Nouvelle-Zélande, donc il faut pas trop les fâcher. If you want to stop them from saying something, the best way with the Bretons is to absolutely don't say them, don't do that, because they will do it.
Yes, of course.
They will always do the opposite.
So the next one, just one quick final question. Obviously, part of this is to get the word out about Parkinson's disease and make people aware. But how can they specifically help? What's their main direction to help? Is it raising money or something? If so, how can they do it? How can people help?
Comment les gens peuvent aider concrètement votre projet et ce que vous faites pour porter l'espoir de ceux qui sont malades de Parkinson, qui souffrent à travers le monde. We maybe should also remember that it's 7 million people suffering of Parkinson around the world, and I see 200,000 only in France.
Okay, it's a very good question. It's a very good question because it's not so easy. I think that the financial support is important because we saved the boat and we want to keep the boat in the loop of Parkinson and disease. So we have a lot of evolution of course inside the project during 2 years, but today we are very happy to do the race, and it was a goal, but the second leg is very important because we want that the boat would be useful to people in suffering. So, of course, to keep the boat in this way, we probably will financial support, and the best feedback we can have is to bring people with us and people who have the disease. All right?
Sounds good. Okay, so we'll give you a free entry in the 2027 OGR for Neptune, okay?
With Parkinson, thank you.
I have a question, a quick one, Tan. Because we spoke a lot about your support to Parkinson and disease and the message that you want to give to people around the world, but we didn't speak so much about your ambition in this race, because I think you are going to race, not to just go around. Your hope is not just to finish the race, your hope, you really want to race, isn't it?
It's always difficult to answer to such a question. We did a good refit with good people, with the right people. We have a good team. We know each other. We have been racing a lot together, Speed West and all this race, so the level is not so bad. Now there is a very good level here. Professional crew member on the different boat. So we want to race, and that everybody would be fair. After, the best will win.
Do you have just a quick question or two for the public? Do you have a question for these guys? Yes, sir. I think in our public today we have people who came from Canada here on my left. fly from Canada to Southampton just to see the start of the OGR, and we have some Neptune crew and other people that I don't know. And the question, the first question, what?
Just shout it out. Just
And some from above right too.
Okay, my question really was, as a person with Parkinson's, what's the biggest challenge when sailing with Parkinson's for you?
French.
Yeah, il t'a traduit. Quel est quand tu as Parkinson? La question c'était quand tu as Parkinson avec une navigue. Quelle est la chose la plus difficile? Comment on navigue lorsqu'on a Parkinson? Qu'est-ce qui est gênant?
Bah déjà, Parkinson, c'est pas une maladie qui a Bon, je tremble de la tête, ce n'est pas dû à Parkinson, c'est une autre maladie, peu importe. Mais les gens vont me voir, ils vont dire oui, il a Parkinson parce qu'il tremble de la tête. Non, c'est pas vrai. Donc,
he said when he's shaking his head, it's not because of Parkinson actually, it's for another disease that he had.
Et chaque personne a ses symptômes propres. Donc moi, je peux dire par rapport à mes symptômes, qu'est-ce que à quoi je vais faire attention à bord.
And everyone has his different issues with Parkinson. They are all different, and he will tell us how it is for him.
Je vais faire attention notamment à l'équilibre. Bon, il faut que je fasse attention à l'équilibre. Et il faut.
Yeah, he has. I don't know exactly how to say. He has to pay attention to keep strike, to don't balance. Yeah. Thank you.
Je vais faire attention au régime alimentaire aussi, puisqu'il y a des problèmes pour la digestion.
So you have to pay attention also to the food because the digestion is more difficult with Parkinson.
Et aussi à l'assimilation des médicaments, c'est-à-dire que toutes les 4 heures, il faut que je prenne des médicaments, ce qui est finalement assez facilité par le système de bord de quart de 4 heures.
And also to his medication, because every 4 hours he has to take his drugs, and which is good with their watch system because it's every 3 hours. 4 hours, sorry. So it works well.
Okay, what a fantastic story. And thank you for your persistence and your passion to sail in the OGR for you and the whole team. So it's certainly going to be a great entry to follow.
Yeah, just a quick word for our followers. For Don and I, it's the last web TV here today. It will be another one tomorrow morning with people who will speak about their wheat bread. It will be Brian Hancock and Butch, who was in Sayula too. So really come to see and ask your question to these guys. They are wheat bread veterans. There will be only 2 people speaking. But for Don and I...
Also probably, because I think we're doing 2, and it'll be Che Boy and Barry Pickle.
And also it's another one, I didn't know about that. A second one with Che Bly, our patron, and Barry Pickle, who is Mr. Wheatbread. He was journalist for the Times, as you all know, and he covered absolutely all the wheatbread. And he's a fantastic, how you say it, joking guy?
Raconteur,
He tells stories.
Bad stories.
He knows all the bad stories, so come here to listen to them. So it will be tomorrow morning. And for the other who followed our web TV, just to tell you quickly how you can see them in the replay, the live, because it's possible. In fact, it's a very technical. I'm sorry. I will try to be as quick as I can. We can watch the web TV even when it's live, and all the lives of the OGR on replay. So to go on YouTube, you know how to do that. To go on Facebook, you need to hit the live button, and there you'll have only to avoid to go through all the page. You just hit that in the videos, and you'll have all the videos of the OGR. And Jane, who is very busy, soon will put in front of each video what is the name of the boat, so we can follow the boat and see the replay. Yeah, sorry. No, I finished. I think this is pretty much all.
Okay, and we'll be live, of course, on the start on Sunday, so that people can watch the live. Yes.
Ce que je voudrais dire en fait aussi, c'est que la vie est très difficile, et je voudrais dire à toutes les personnes, quel que soit leur âge, les jeunes, les moins jeunes, que tant que la vie est là, il faut y croire, et qu'il faut vraiment réaliser ses rêves, et croyez-y, c'est pas toujours facile, mais il faut y aller. Et vous voyez, moi, ça fait presque 50 ans que je rêve de faire ce tour.
To make it short, and it will be our conclusion here for all of us. Life is difficult. even when we are not sick, even when we are young or older, life is difficult, and his advice to all of us is to just follow our dreams and live our lives as we feel we would like to live it. Kind of translation quickly. Thank you very much.
Just one word. Thank you very much, Don and Aida. Thanks for your welcome and thanks for this great idea to do the 50th anniversary of Wheatbread. I think it's really fantastic and that the race will continue because it is the best race in the world.
Well, we're enjoying it as much as you are, so thank you very much.